What's up, everyone? Izzy22x here. We're on week 3 of the EGL week. We're fighting the Necrozma Prisms. I was really nervous. Everyone was like, Izzy's gonna chill Joey. Everyone was like, Izzy's gonna get it. And I was like, but I can't scout Joe. I literally had 2 matches. And as soon as I saw his team, I was like, I hope the expector is not Will-O-Wisp Snarl. I actually did fight a lot of guard chums, and me and Joe were talking after, just to exchange ideas and thought about it, and it was actually pretty funny because I actually did guess right that he might actually be bringing the guard chump, and it was just a gut feeling I had given like what he had already brought on week 1, and then what he brought against Sordor in the Monday night friendly. Man, my English is not. So, I didn't know how Joe was gonna start. I was really hoping he wouldn't start Metagross Spectre. And instead, I was like, nah, he's gonna bring Garchomp, right? Like, why wouldn't you bring Garchomp when you see a Thundurus in your face? So, I went with the double Intimidate. Obviously not showing that not showing my Landos in case, he goes for a Max Quake and I can bait him. And I also decided to go Finny in case they go just full especially offenses. I definitely wish I had played game 1 a lot better. I went a little over aggressive, doing some reads that I shouldn't probably have, and it did cost me the game a little. So they actually start Spectre Metagross, and here's 2 ways I read it. You either protect Will-O-Wisp me, or you Bullsun and max Steel Spike, Max Quake me, right? So Insane is useless here, especially this kind of Insane. I wish I had Dark Illyrian, but I bring Tapu Fini in, reading the protect Will-O-Wisp, and I shouldn't have, to be honest, but I do think I had to max to do this specific play. But yeah, game 1 was pretty much decided in this turn, and I needed. I had to do a gamble. Are you the type to do the greedy play or the standard play? And they actually went with the standard Bullsun play, and I didn't expect that. I actually thought they were gonna be greedy with Will-O-Wisp because I've been fighting a lot of Showdown, and they always do that. So I thought I was being clever. So yeah, they go Bullsun, but I knew Urshifer was gonna survive, right? So that's why we also maxed to cover that specifically. Unfortunately, the damage that Urshifer did was actually pretty depressing. I actually was very big Sag. Also, I was pretty confident that I probably could outspeed even with a Bullsun, given Metagross being usually pretty slow. But Joe did tell me that his Metagross actually was a faster one, and I was like, oh well, rip. It is what it is, right? So yeah, I was like, okay, you Bullsun me, whatever. You're not gonna kill Finny. You're not gonna kill my Urshifer. I think the potential better play here could have been maybe Dynamax, Flare Bits, Metagross instead. Or maybe just not Dynamax, but I had to Dynamax Urshifer, otherwise he would kill. And look at that damage. I'm so sad. This is I said GG's in my head. GG's. The moment I couldn't even make that stupid Metagross yell. And it was partially because of the Max Steel Spike, right? So here I went with something safer. I was like, okay, Expector, show me what you have. Do you have Snarl? I went with the Max Guard because I knew he was gonna try hitting my Urshifer, because why wouldn't you try hitting? So I thought Calm Mind was the safest, especially because I was pretty confident that he wouldn't try to do something funky. But yeah, the Maxer is just to kill Dynamax turns, and then this turn with the Calm Mind is to make sure to see what the freaking heck that stupid horse can do to my team. And I think one of the really cool things that Joe did against me was that he hit the Will-O-Wisp game 1. He never hit that. I mean, obviously no point right now because of terrain, but he didn't even use it late game. He never brought the Spectre back. So I think the way he conserved Spectre and just played in general was really, really good. And yeah, now that I know that I have the Snarl, it's also really sucky because I can't just freely count mine. So that was another unfortunate thing. And then this is actually really, really funny. I almost, as you see me pointing out, I almost went for Landers. But I was like, nah, they're just gonna, I didn't want Landers to take damage. But they actually go for Max Quake. If I have Brawl Landers, that will have been such a big brain. Cause I actually told you, I was like, you know what? I almost Brawl Lander instead of Insane. But I like hesitated. And that actually really sucks because that is +1 special defense on the gross is actually really gross. See that pun? See that pun I did there? I'm trying to be funny here. Anyway, yeah, I was like, I hate the Snarls, and I wanted to say Urshifer because I still felt like I need a Urshifer in the back. So I brought Insane, and he kills my Insane because they went for Max Quake, and I can't answer for Max Quake at +2. But it just sucks. Plus, they keep just like I think I should have gone, and I knew like their freaking horse was sashed. Like there was nothing I could do about the horse. So maybe in a sense it was better to sacrifice. Yeah, the play here will have been always just risking the max. Since I already used my dynamics, yeah, the play here was always just risking the Lando switching and then actually going for a max Quake after seeing me doing a Calm Mind. But I didn't think they would go there. I thought like maybe they were just gonna go max Steel Spike because Tapu Fini can keep Calm Mining, but until I kill that freaking stupid Horsey, there's nothing I can do. The second thing I feel like it's a little bit of a mistake here potentially was probably not bringing Urshifer and instead bringing Lando here. Because I think I didn't need Lando yet. It ended up working out, but I didn't need Lando yet. Because we're just gonna EQ here. So I believe they're a +1 defense, +1 the special defense. And I mean the special defense doesn't do anything. I wish I could have Calm Minded. But I went for the greedy EQ. Because I wanted to see what other Pokemon there. Like, I'm in full scout mode right now. I was like, what can I do to fight? So I know I'm faster than the Megaros. And again, here is where I was very surprised. Surprised that Joe didn't go for the Will-O-Wisp. But I mean, they probably thought potentially that I was AV. But here's where I was also fishing for the Will-O-Wisp. Because it was very important for game 2. And again, like they didn't do it, and this crit here matters 100%. Because I was at -1 and I crit and killed their Insane. And this will have been a pretty good way to bring back game 1. Back to my favor. With that crit. But unfortunately, it doesn't. Because then Joe goes ahead and doesn't really well protect reads. But I also was here fishing for... what was it? If I would have gotten a double crit though, that would have been so awesome. I actually almost wish I had critted the Metagross over the Insane. But yeah, now here, Joe reveals that they have Thunder Punch. So they have Iron Head or Mirror Smash. They have Stumping Tantrum or Earthquake. They have Thunder Punch and they have Protect. Because they're weakness policy. So usually... I'm just probably the only insane person that doesn't have Protect on their weakness policy. But yeah, here they reveal Protect. And I really, really wish I had Sword Dance because they go for Calm Mind. I was half the reason I was doing what I was doing also was for hoping for clean for flinch hacks. So we do get the accuracy rub, but it never like works out in our favor. And here's the thing is like I Calm Mind again because I have to, but I'm just like, do I want to sack my? Did I Equi? I should have Equi. No. Okay. So Joe did ask, why didn't you EQ a second time? And the reason why I didn't EQ a second time was because I had to fight the Calm Mind battles with him, and I had to go for flinch hacks, which as you can tell, I flinched the Metagross, which was huge. But I need to flinch the Finny. And here I took a risk. I took a risk that he was gonna hit my Finny, and I wanted Urshifer in. Because I don't know why they went for the Iron Head, to be quite honest, on my Lando. Like, the Iron Head, I think there was no reason to go for Iron Head. Because they could have protected. Oh, did I protect? I forgot. But, like, if I had gone back again to my EQ strat, like, that Metagross was dead. So, again, I go for Rock Slide, because I have to go for Rock Slide flinches. And I miss the Tapu Fini in this one. And I think that really hurt me, because either, you know, I get a flinch or I die. But it was a do or die thing, right? But, yeah, good. Bad switching for me. That was probably my third mistake in this play. And yeah, they go for protect. And I potentially needed the flinch here, right? Yeah, they got that courtesy drop and they don't hit my Finny, but hit my freaking... here I should have calm-minded again. There was actually no reason. But yeah, I think the Iron Head onto my Lando was unfortunate. I don't know if they were just like reading that some night, because I was just like, this is game over. But I wanted to see at +1 if my Moody Water will be enough to kill Metagross and how much I survived. So I survived a Thunder Punch. And then they went greedy with the Calm Mind because there's no reason not to. Because it's like, you know, and that Finny avoids another attack, by the way. Why couldn't that be my you know, we could swap Finnies. Anyway, I wanted to see if I survived the Thunder Punch too. And like I said, I wanted to see if like they had another attack besides Shadow Ball. But mostly at this point, I was just fishing for a little bit more info before I just gave up. And like I said, I was kind of sad about how I play in this game 1. Because I think I play a lot better in game 2. And this is actually very, very funny. So given how game 1 went, I actually thought they were going to bring Garchomp. I actually thought, and Joe actually told me he was thinking about bringing Spectre Garchomp. So I just like almost wish because I did the read of like, you are gonna bring it. Because I almost brought Cortana. Here I'm almost selected because I was like, there's no way they're not bringing Finny again. Because I knew there was no reason for them to bring P2. I don't know if they were gonna... So, yeah, they end up not bringing Garchomp, unfortunately, because I was trying to bait them to bring Garchomp because they felt safe about bringing it. But Joe did say that they respected my double Intimidate and respected my Finny, so I really appreciate it. But damn it, I wish he was a little greedy. Game 2, I definitely play a lot better. I adjusted, and I think a better start... I wish I had ignored how I play game 1 and just play game 2. Because I wish like... I had gone with the start that I always confident with. Also, I need to ask Joe if he likes doing what I do, where he like waits until the last moment to select his team. Because both times we both take until the last second to select our teams. So I wonder if he just like plays the mind games too. But yeah, they start the same start, which is 100% fine with me. Because I didn't care about Metagross. Metagross was never a threat to me. Even though it won them the game, it wasn't like what scared me. Metagross definitely, I was just like, not worry about it. I wanted to kill Expecture here. And here's the one. It's like, this is how I expected him to do game 1. I don't know if it was because I started Incineroar that it made it different. But this is how I expected him to play game 1. Where like, you know, he either protects or, you know, swaps to Finny and then Will-O-Wisp my Urshifu. And they're thinking about it pretty hard, so props on them on that. Because, you know, you have to be confident, like if they miss the Will-O-Wisp, GG's there. But I also was confident that my Urshifu, my Thundurus could deal with it. Like, I was very, very confident that I could deal with that. So I let it be. But yeah, I had one games where my Thunderous burns, so I didn't care that much. So it's like either I beg for it to miss or I just deal with it, because I just needed that stupid horse out of the plate. That was probably the biggest thing. But I mad respects for them to actually switch into Fini. Fini is not my favorite. So yeah, they send the Will-O-Wisp, they hit it. Very unfortunate. But I had to keep the honest. I had to go for the Sucker Punch in case they did go for it. And now they can't Will-O-Wisp my Urshifer. So that's actually pretty nice too. So yeah, in retrospect, I think it would have been better to start this star game 1 and then expect them to bring Garchomp game 2 after seeing this star. But I decided to go with Fini, and I was just like, just Wicked Blow Spectre, because I'm gonna be faster now than Spectre, unless it's a max speed one. A plus one, yeah, no, even max speed one, I'm pretty sure, in general, I do. So Spectre was dead regardless. I'm pretty sure they were gonna sack it. Because I know all the attacks, Will-O-Wisp, Snarl, Shadow Ball, and Bullsong. They didn't have Protect. And, I mean, it's Urshifer. So Fini here was the iffy thing. It's like, whenever not, they weren't Protect. And they actually never went to Protect with Fini. So, I will have kill had, had I not been burned. Because that's a lot of damage, by the way. I do wonder what they were gonna do, though, if I didn't Wicked Blow them here. Whenever it was, like, Bullsong or something like that. But yes, we get the kill there, and then they Moonblast our Urshifer. Which makes sense, right? Like, it's the right move to do. And I know I'm squishy, but, man, does that Fini hit hard. Because he dropped me on the sash. Yeah. So, now I'm pretty sure Metagross come back. And because Joe did say that Incineroar was their last Pokemon. And obviously they don't want to give me the Defiant Buzz. And this is where the game is pretty much over. And mad respects for them, right? They had two choices. They either were confident enough that a Max Knuckle, a Burn Max Knuckle, and a Wicked Blow wouldn't kill their Metagross. Or they just Max Guarded and let Fini deal with it. Right? So I made the mistake of thinking that they would be greedy. Because I thought they would protect Fini here. So I actually should have the safer play here. 100% will have been always go for the Fini instead of the Metagross. And then I will have gotten my Defiant Boost, given that I should have known that they had Incineroar in the back. Because if they hadn't brought Garchomp by now, then they didn't bring Garchomp, and there's no way they brought Pichu. So this read that Joe did will pretty much won them the game too. And I made it a little obvious, but I also had to be like a little risky. It's like they were so greedy on game 1, but they were so much more passive in game 2, in my opinion, that I just couldn't read that. And they outread me with this, because they literally told me if I was easy, I will Max Knuckle Wicked Blow my Metagross. And I gotta respect that. I mean, that is the reason why I max my Urshifer turn 1 against his Metagross. But yeah, unfortunately, like, the Max Knuckle doesn't hit, and Fini is still alive. I actually wonder if I could have killed Fini with a Max Knuckle instead of a Max Lightning, because I needed the extra. I 100% think I needed the extra thing. But yeah, they killed Urshifer. And like I said, I should have just gone for the Fini and maybe detect if I didn't kill Fini, reading the Max Guard. But what if they read that? They read that, right? So it's a lot of very unfortunately. And given the matchup, I just had to do what I did. I didn't see myself winning otherwise. And here is where like they ended up protecting, which I think I attacked it regardless, which I regret. I shouldn't have. I don't know why I did it. I should have known that they were gonna go for Fini, but I also like, should I go Fly? Should I not? It was just like so hard. And I went with, I tried to bait a Max Quake from them with my Incin, and they didn't go fell for it. Cause in their position, I 100% ignored the Urshifer. I mean, not the Urshifer. In their position, I will 100% just ignore the Thunderous. because there's no reason to have it in the board. So I couldn't bait the Max Quake, which again I regret, because I could have flared. Well, I didn't want to proc their weakness policy. To be honest, I should have gone for fly in this turn, because this still was salvageable, especially because they protected this turn. So what I could have done here was probably fly in case they actually did go for my Thunderous, and just like, you know, bring back Incineroar next turn or something. But yeah, they went for Max Steel Spike. It doesn't kill Thunderous, but that's enough though. That sucks because, like I said, I didn't want to proc their weakness policy. Did I EQ here? Because I think EQ Wild Charge didn't kill Finny. I don't remember if I did. Oh, I went greedy. Okay, so this is my mistake too. I should have absolutely not done that. I went full greedy there. Okay, I remember. I shouldn't have Sword Dance, because I didn't think they were gonna go for Lando. I actually didn't think they were gonna go for Lando. So yes, this was greedy from my part, and that was 100% not sure that. So they go over Max Steel Spike into Lando, which again I expect, and then they Muddy Water, I think, here, which sad face. Like I said, yeah, I shouldn't have greeted. I shouldn't have greeted there. I should have killed Finny first. If I had EQ, Finny would have been dead. But yeah, they get the double KO, and that's just GG's. So I did make a couple mistakes in this game, because the way I felt like the not team work was, a lot of it had to do with like doing the right reads too. And I was very confident with this team. I made it to 14-35 with it. Had a lot of fun. Only a couple matchups where unfortunately like that will, you know, kill this team. And Joe did bring the better matchup. Like, I had to respect his Garchomp, and then they had the Spectre. Like, the Spectre was probably the most annoying thing of his entire team. Even though Metagross won them both games, Max and Weakness Spot, it is still 100%. I personally feel like the Spectre was their MVP in this team. So, it is what it is. Unfortunately, my first loss, but I will come back stronger. And if we get a rematch, Joe, I will not be bringing this team. I promise you. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time. Bye.